Hello everybody, welcome back to another Indie Games Let's Play and Review hosted by me. My name is Excalibur. This is the game Inquisitor by Cinemax. And we'll go down here. Here's all the pertinent information. Cinemax SRO. It was released September 5th, 2012. And of course there's the links and everything like that. I'm using Steam. This is going to be blurred out throughout the entire thing. Well, here we are. We've got this game. It looks very pretty, and looks are deceiving, let me tell you. The interface is unfortunately one of those interfaces that drive me insane. It looks pretty, but this here never goes away. This is your hotbar, which should be here. And this is actually gives you messages and stuff like that, which they have inconspicuously empty here. Let's go ahead and get out of that. That's the video. So we'll go in here and we'll go screenshot by screenshot. This is the only way I can record the screen because it uses a non-standard windowing scheme to display its graphics, and it flickers out and flickers in, almost like it's using old 1990s Diablo style graphics and video. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm very, very unhappy with the video. I have not been able to use Fraps or Camtasia in order to record it. So here we are. This is a standard point and click. I don't think you can see the mouse pointer anywhere here. It is almost always a pointer finger, like you can click on something, when in fact you can't click on the building here. You can't click there. This is a very Baldur's Gate. You can generally go just behind this because it's got some sort of bounding box around here, but you can't click on the building itself, and the mouse pointer is like my mouse pointer. It's always a pointer. When you go over items that you can pick up, there is an option turn on names that are constantly on, so that you can click on the name and get the items, but that is off by default. It should be on by default. But when you do hover over the items, it turns into a grasping hand so that it looks like you can pick it up, which is good. There's a lot of interface issues. Because everything is very much unintuitive. These three buttons here get you to your inventory, the game menu, and exit the game, I think. I can't remember. As you can see here, you have different character classes. There are three. There's the paladin, there's the priest, and the thief. I think those are the three, and this changes for each one. I think this is the priests. That is the paladins, and the thief or the rogue. Yeah, there's a hand pointer that's like that almost all the time. I do not see the rogue. Okay. Anywhere here? I'm clicking next. Alright. Still the paladin, but yeah, here's an example. We have all these potions and all that. You use Alt key. You cannot change key bindings. You cannot use a gamepad in this game. You can turn down music all the way, but there are a lot of annoying things that, like when you level up or several other things that cause issues. When you level up, it gives you a really loud musical note. I tried adjusting all the options. It's probably the player option, but you want to hear when you're walking around and stuff. Anyway, this is a very Diablo way to hold your items. I think there's a Dungeon Siege also had this kind of layout where you had stuff in there. You've got three different inventory slots, and it's actually kind of cool. You can go and show multiple parts of your inventory, and then this one here is your equipped items. I think it is more intuitive and helpful to keep your equipped items always shown and just flip through your backpacks on the other side and have them flip-floppable at any time with a single button instead of having to manually select them. Each of these buttons down here brings you to a different screen. This first one is your inventory. Then this is your character sheet. They have character stats, which is incorrectly termed. This here is your map, and it completely gets out of this interface, gives you a back button that takes you back to the game. Very unintuitive. As I said, the game is very pretty. It's very Diablo-esque. Apparently you can get more people in your party. I didn't get too far in the game to find out. You have conversation trees, which are very, very nice. However, this doesn't tell me that you can click on them. It's a different color, but you need to have some sort of indicator here that tells you, hey, this is an option, rather than expecting the person to instinctively go, oh, I hover over this. So need to update the dialog tree to show what options you have available. Let's see here. This is nice. You right click on an item and it gives you stats about the item. Same thing here. It's the same exact thing. Here you can see a head over this person's little gear, and that means you can talk to them. Apparently there's a bunch of dead people there. Alright, here we are. We're in combat again. Now, nowhere does it show how to use spells, or how to equip them, or how to memorize them and put them in your spell book. Nowhere that I could see. You need to be able to know that within the first 5 minutes of playing the game. So in here we have the last screenshot, which is, I'm not sure exactly what that is, probably NPCs, maybe something you fight, I don't know. It is an RPG, that is correct. Dark fantasy, I would have to say it's more medieval than fantasy. The fantasy aspect is probably from magic, so it's probably medieval magic more than fantasy, but unless you consider casting spells to be fantasy, then there you go. Let's see here. Does this let you add more? Okay, view tag. So to do single player and fantasy. So it is a single player game. In party you actually get while adventuring. So let's see here. I looked at this. I found that Baldur's Gate Enhanced is far more well, not far more. Well, it's far more pretty, but far more intuitive to play with. Granted, it is a commercial game that has been updated for today's graphics. It is highly imperative that if you're going to create a game that is similar, that you mimic as much of that as possible. I'm going to go back into this screenshot because this is one of the things that severely irritates me, is this thing here. People who are right-handed might look over here to say, oh, that's a hotbar. But most games, almost every single game that I have seen come out, puts the hotbar in the bottom, in the center. Use conventions if they're out there. You're not going to get in trouble for copyright or anything like that. They're games, and using standard layouts that everybody's used to helps improve the playability of your game. So these are hotbar items. They're hotkeyed to your numbers 1 through 0, and then these are, of course, are like your escape and I and all that. Another thing that I really despise is that you can't change your key bindings. I am a very, very, very big fan of being able to change your key bindings so that you can choose what items do what. Now, I'm used to hitting E because of Minecraft. I'm used to hitting E to get to my equipment or my inventory. And I kept hitting E and nothing was happening, and I remembered, oh, I. So I go over and hit I. I is fine. Inventory starts with I. It makes sense. So take that little bit with a grain of salt. With nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. You are playing an Inquisitor, and you're going around collecting clues about the murder of somebody, and the game supposedly gets deeper. That's what I was going to say. Dialogue. Let's find that one with the dialogue tree. Thing that really, really irritated the bejesus out of me was there was a lot of dialogue that gave you only one option, and then you went on, and then one option, then you went on, then one option, then you went on. And that is not interactivity. You're not giving a person a choice, and you're putting words in their mouth. They might not be thinking that. So you're now just leading them through a dialogue that's been written in, say, a book. When you have a bunch of paragraphs that you have to separate through screens that have a single dialogue, use next. Or work those dialogues in. And sorry, for some reason I'm getting a crap ton of emails whenever I record right now. And I'm having issues with my son taking a nap, and things are just not all that happy today. And all the stuff that I found with this game, trying to record it, trying to capture the gameplay, just made me more and more angry as the screen flickered off to another screen mode, causing fraps to crap out, or the game crashing because I chose thief, or because I went into a door, or something like that, whatever it is. This says it's version 1.10. It's been released in 2012. Well, I can tell you this is nothing more than a version 0.8 beta, if that, because there are so many glaring issues with it. It is non-intuitive. Even though you have all those commands available, it is non-intuitive to find those commands. To deny potion drinking, what does that mean? Do you think people are going to drink one type of potion, immediately drink all potions in their inventory? So you want to keep those individual potions from being drank? I don't know. But anyway, if you're going to have an interactive dialogue tree, have more than one option. Otherwise, it's a fancy next where you are directing the person on what to think. If you want people to think in a murder mystery, you don't give them the lines. You let them ponder, you let them contemplate, and then you let them continue next and find the clues in the text. And whenever you find a clue that you think is important, you put it into their journal so that they know it's there. And they can go back and read that. As for these, the system requirements are fine. I have no issues with that. Let's see here, 512 megs of RAM, 3D graphics card supporting DirectX. So if you're going to do DirectX, have everything in DirectX, the videos and everything. Don't change screen modes, just play it. If it's running in full screen, which is by default what it runs in, you do not change to another graphics mode to show video. You find some way to work the video into the current graphics mode. Going back and forth between graphics modes, changing resolutions, is something that happened back in the 90s when they didn't understand 3D graphics cards. We have more than enough going on right now. There are a lot of people who are playing this, and I don't know. Like, here it is. This guy has played 29 hours. No, this game is not good. Is this game worth playing? Yes, it is worth playing. I would say that it is worth playing so that you can see how not to develop a Baldur's Gate or Diablo 2 clone. You can make it look pretty, you can slap lipstick on a cow, but it's not going to make it better than Baldur's Gate. Now, I would have to say that this is... I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and sorry about that. What we have here is a game that they're trying to pull back the cool old style RPGs like Baldur's Gate and Diablo-esque style gameplay. Some of the equipment in there, when I got it identified, had like Diablo style names for the equipment. In terms of the quest, there's the first quest. You have to go and kill some giant bats to get into the city. Well, you don't know how many bats are out there. You don't know how many you have to kill, and you have to wander across the entire map. And once you think you've killed all the bats, you go and talk to the guard. And then the guard will tell you, have you finished killing all the bats? And apparently you haven't, because you missed a little sector of the map. You need to write quests in such a way that you know exactly how many bats you have to kill, and you have to be able to find them. If any of the other quests are anywhere like that first quest, then I am really going to have to say, sorry, I am never going to play this game again. As it stands, the interface alone makes me not want to play it, and the sound, having it driven at 100% right off the bat, and the most irritating opening company splash screen in history, blaring my ears the first time I turn this on, makes me not want to play the game at all. As soon as I heard the Cinemax splash come up and my ears started to bleed, I almost turned the game off and didn't even continue, but I wanted to give the game a chance. In terms of my score of fun, replayability, and would I recommend this to others, I give it a 1 out of 5 because of the interface issues that I have found, because of the sound issues that I have found, and the quality of the quests. The graphics are pretty. One of the only things I really dislike about the graphics is your character, when he runs, he looks like he's walking fast. Now, I think Baldur's Gate does the same thing, and Diablo does the same thing as well. I think Diablo has 1 speed. But this, if it's got a walk and a run speed, then you better well put in graphics for the character running. Don't just sit there and make it look like he's going on a power walk through the woods. Other than that, if this style of game is your jam, and you don't mind the interface niggles that I have given you, then by all means, please go and give these guys a big thumbs up and download, buy, and play the game. Personally, I do not like the game. I mean, even Ultima Online, when it first came out back in the late 90s, it had running graphics. I'm just putting that out there. So we're here at 2012. Get somebody who knows how to do the modeling, and if these are not 3D models put into a 2D isometric engine, then transfer to one so that you can better articulate your models. So 1 out of 5 stars. Maybe a 1.5 because of how pretty it is, but I would not recommend it for anybody else. I will not play this game again, most likely, unless there's a massive update or there's some configuration options that I have missed that I didn't see in the options, or there's a massive amount of new content that needs to be reviewed and somebody wants me to take a look at it. Overall, I think this is a very unfun game, and I would rather spend my time in Baldur's Gate. And I have Baldur's Gate Enhanced, which I'm going to be playing far more often because I miss the genre and I miss that game in particular. So, until next time, enjoy playing games. If this is your jam and you want to play it, please enjoy playing this game. Enjoy playing Inquisitor. I would have to say this is not for me. Not at all. So please like, favorite, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out quite a bit so that I know exactly, so that I know that people are actively watching my stuff and want to see me do more. In terms of this particular game, Cinemax, I'd like to be a good guy, but the troubles I've had trying to get your game working has made me so angry that I really cannot recommend your game. It needs a lot of work. It needs to go back into a beta state rather than into a version 1.10, which it is obviously not release candidate worthy in my book. It feels very unfinished. It feels very unintuitive. This has been another indie game Let's Play and Review. I am Excalibur, and I am out.